What's up, guys and gals? Now we are at the stage where we need to start taking some of the clean blog template files and moving them over into our newly created WordPress theme. So the first thing we should probably do is go ahead and open up in a text editor. So here you can see all of the content from the index page. Primarily what we're looking for right now is the headers and footers. It's a good first place to start. So we'll go ahead and copy through all the way to the nav, as that's a good way to figure out from here. You can see we've got the Start Bootstrap logo and this home, about, and obviously we'd want all of our head content that has all of our style sheets and title tags and other stuff like that to be the header of all of our pages. So we'll need to grab this nav as well and then go back to the code, and that's exactly where I've stopped. So I will go ahead and copy, and now I need to add a file and we need to call it header.php. There we go. So now we have our header, and inside here we just want to paste in that code that we just copied from the index. Alright, save that out. Now we need to figure out where in this code is our footer. So we'll go back to the example and take a look down here, and looks like this is our footer here. So just to make sure, let's go to another page, and yep, so all the way to this line should probably be where we would include the code from the index page into the footer. So the best way to kind of go about that is to go ahead and just inspect the page. And here you can see, I'm just going to move the console down a bit. Here you can see the footer. So we'll scroll down just to make sure. Yep, that's our footer. And then all the way up to this HR tag is where I believe the footer should stop. So we will go back to our code and look for in the index page. So here we've got the closing HTML tag all the way to this HR tag, and we're going to copy that and create another new file called footer.php and paste all of that code in, and there we go. Now we're gonna have to build out our index.php page. Now what the index.php page does is it acts as a fallback template page for all pages that don't have one specifically designated, or are not one of the main WordPress template naming convention names are not present. So any situation like that, anyways, index is kind of the fallback for just about everything. So how do we build that page out, and what will that look like? So the first thing we're going to need to add is a PHP tag and a function called getHeader. Now what this function does is it pulls in that header snippet that we just built. So so you could think of it as like a header partial code, because it's going to be reused on all of our pages. We then have it in one place and we can edit it really quickly and easily, and it will make the changes across the entire site. The next thing we're going to need is to include the footer, and it's done much the same way with getFooter. Alright, so obviously as a fallback page, or as just the general template page for most themes, you want to display something and you don't want it to look completely horrible. So let's go ahead and make a div, and we'll add a class of container, and that is a Bootstrap class that will center everything within the page. And now we're going to do another PHP tag and say if have posts while have posts the post. Just like that. So this is the beginning of the WordPress loop, and what it does is just looks for if there is any posts for this page, then it knows to go ahead and start doing something with it. And for that, we are going to just do a paragraph tag and say another PHP tag and just put in the content. So this way, if you've created a page, you'll have a title and you'll have content right underneath. I can show you what that looks like a little bit later as we start building out some of the other pages, but needless to say, it's the main content area where most of your paragraph text would go. So it's good to probably display that on the page for this default template. Then we need another PHP tag, and we are going to say end while, semicolon, and else, and colon. And then below that, we'll just throw in another paragraph tag, and this is a default, so if there is no content, we want to just display sorry, no page found. And then finally, we want to do another PHP tag and end the if statement with an end if, colon, semicolon. All right, great. So now that we have our index page built out, we can start talking about building out the home page that CleanBlog actually displays. So this is what the home page looks like, and obviously we've opened up that index page from the CleanBlog downloaded files. So now we're going to go ahead and take a look at that again and start building out our home page for our WordPress theme. So here's the index.html, and obviously this is where we ended or started our footer. So we're going to go ahead and copy all the way up to there, all the way before the, well, we don't need all that because that's all in the header. So right all the way to the page head. We'll go ahead and copy that, and then we will create another new file. And this new file will be called home.php. And go ahead and paste all of that code right into there. But just like our index page, we need to copy and paste the get header at the very top, and copy the get footer at the very bottom. So that's the end of part 2. Thank you for watching, everyone. Like, comment, and subscribe. It helps keep me going. If that felt a little bit over your head, you could click back to the simple conversion. If you're ready to go to part 3, click through now. Thanks.